Hey Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comics to buy. And today, guys, I think we're talking about a highly anticipated book here, and that is Poe Dameron, issue number 1. I think this was a mini series, and this is an important book because this is the first book that takes place right before The Force Awakens. So any hints that it gives you towards The Force Awakens, or maybe episode number 8, it could be in these books. You never know. So this was a highly anticipated book. The book is written by Charles Soule. The artwork is done by Phil Noto. The art is pretty good. I like the art in here. I think maybe the inking is a little bold at times, but nevertheless, I thought it was really nice. It was cool to see the X-Wings in here. Poe Dameron's X-Wing is black, which I think is pretty cool. BB-8 makes his appearance in here, and you get to see his relationship with Poe, which is really nice. And also, Princess Leia, old Princess Leia, which you've never seen her old in a comic before, which I thought was pretty nice as well. And then you also get to meet the supporting cast members in this book with Poe Dameron's Black Squadron in here. So I thought that was pretty neat as well. So what was the story about in this first issue? Well, we all know that Poe Dameron is the best pilot in the galaxy, and if you read Shattered Empire, we kind of get to see him possibly. We saw his mother, and we get to see him maybe conceived in that series. So he's the best pilot in the galaxy. He is actually with Princess Leia in the Resistance to try to stop the New Order becoming obviously the new version of the Empire in here. So what happens is Princess Leia goes and sends him on this mission. And the book actually opens up as he's already in this mission, and very Star Wars like. He's in an X-Wing, he's going into this very narrow cavern, and he's fighting through all these rocks that are falling and trying to get to this particular core. Again, very Star Wars like. We get to see the relationship between BB-8 and Poe Dameron, which was pretty cool on how they work together. That was a lot of fun. And then it flashes back to a few hours earlier on how Poe Dameron really is, how he was born into the universe as the Galactic Empire was already killed, and he learned everything by second hand, and he doesn't know how to deal with real threatening dangers like the New Order. And so Princess Leia goes and sends him on a mission to actually rescue Luke because they feel he's pivotal in saving the universe. So he has to go and he has to find this actual explorer, this old man that might know where Luke actually is, and this guy right here by the name of Lor Santeca, whatever his name is. So it was really cool. And so what happens is when Poe Dameron goes to the center of this place and he finds this weird egg thing, he finds out from all the other people that the explorer is actually gone. And throughout the actual issue, we find out that there's this weird signal that BB-8 has been tracking. And as the issue progresses, we find out that that signal that BB-8 found was a tracker on his X-Wing, and the New Order wound up following him to his actual location here. And that's how the book actually ends, and you get to see stormtroopers flying in. So that was pretty cool. Now, this book was made for... This book had a $5 price tag on it. So when you're expecting to pay $5, you're expecting an extended story. The story was a normal story. You have a backup story in here with BB-8 kind of getting two X-Wing pilots or repair people together and having a relationship. With that has really no meaning whatsoever to the story. It's just a fun little individual story. However, I want to see an extended story, especially if it's first issue. You really need to hook people in to keep buying comics. Don't throw me in a little backup story here or some weird story. It just wasn't fitting for me. I was very upset at that I had to pay an extra $1 for that. That didn't mean that it didn't have to do with anything with the real story. However, the story that was told here was really good. I like seeing Poe Dameron's character being fleshed out a little bit more, seeing how you know, he was born into this universe not knowing what the Galactic Empire really was or having to do battle against them, gathering his supporting cast around him, and being that he was tracked here. Who threw that tracker on his actual X-Wing? We don't know. Is it his Black Squadron members? Is it someone from the Resistance? It could be anybody, and we don't know yet. In the next issue, it looks like we will be introduced to the New Order in issue 2. So I'm looking forward to this book. I think it has a lot to offer. I just didn't feel that backup story was necessary to charge that extra $1 for its readers. You know, Marvel needs to take a look at its pricing as DC is lowering its titles now, and it's kind of like, you know, why charge $5 for a book when they're charging $3? And if you want more titles to sell, lower the cost. You'll sell more books that way. It just makes sense, at least in my eyes anyway. But nevertheless, because of that extra price hike and this backup story not having to do with the real story, I gotta lower the grade a little bit. And I gotta give the book probably a 4.25 out of 5 stars. Good, interesting read, makes me want to read more, and solid artwork and good fleshing out of the character. So again, guys, leave me your comments below on everything that I talked about today about Poe Dameron, issue number 1. And as always, on behalf of the Comic Frontline members and myself, thank you for watching Comic Frontline, and until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.